I know I mentioned chocolate's not a good idea, but I do carry emergency chocolate. Sometimes you've just got to have chocolate. And my recommendation for chocolate, your emergency chocolate, is peanut M&Ms. Hey adventurer, I'm Bridget Hallam from Throw Your Leg Over, and today we are talking about a very important topic: snacks. And by the end of this episode, you will know why I believe snacks are so important, and also what snacks you might want to carry with you on your adventures. Now, for years and years and years, I did not carry any snacks with me on our rides, on our adventures. And to be honest, it never even occurred to me. But I have become a convert because I believe that snacks deserve to be in your kit every time you ride. And I'm going to share with you a whole bunch of reasons why I think this is true. And of course, the first reason is because they're delicious. Can't argue with that. Nothing more needs to be said about that, full stop. But the reason I started taking snacks with us was I was finding I was having real energy slumps in the afternoon. We would stop for lunch, we'd have something to eat, and especially if it was a warm day, I reckon nearly every single ride we went on, I would have trouble staying awake on the bike after lunch. It was a bit of a problem. It used to freak Alan out a bit. And I was doing the classic dunk on the back of his helmet with my helmet, which was not much fun for either of us. But apart from it being a bit of a safety issue, it meant that I was missing part of the ride, and it kind of defeats the purpose of going out for a ride if you're asleep, So I started taking snacks with me, and I changed how I ate. So I started eating smaller lunches, lighter lunches, salads and stuff like that, instead of a big pub meal. And I would just, every now and then, just have a bit of a snack when we stopped to stretch our legs and take some photos somewhere. And it really helped level out my energy sort of ups and downs during the day. And of course, it's okay if you're pillion to get a bit sleepy in the afternoon, but not so okay when you're riding yourself, when you're riding your own bike solo. And so having the snacks during the day when I'm riding myself means that I can not only balance out my energy during the day, but also just keep and maintain my focus. I'm not getting hungry. My energy's not feeling drained. I'm just feeling much more steady throughout the day in terms of my energy. Another reason that snacks are so awesome is if you get stuck somewhere unexpectedly. I don't know, it might be bad weather, an incident's happened, might be roadworks or road closures, you might be helping someone with something, if they've got a flat tire or something, whatever it might be. If something unexpected has happened, then you've got your snacks. If you're there for a while, you can be confident that hunger is not going to be an extra problem on top of what you're already managing. So it takes that possible stressor away. It's no problem, and that's what we like. There's a simple issue of when you rock up to the bakery at your next stop, it might be closed. It might not be open. And that can be a bit of a problem, especially if you're hanging out for a coffee or something to eat, your favorite pie or sweet thing. I always like a bit of a sweet thing at the local bakery, but if it's closed and there's nothing else open, then your stomach is not going to be too happy, or your taste buds for that matter. So when you have your BYO snacks, that's no longer a problem. You can just pull up wherever you like. You can sit outside the bakery that's closed, sit on their front step and have your snacks, and you're good to go again. You can refuel your stomach and you're right to go again. The next reason snacks are so awesome is no one wants to be hangry. I gotta admit, I do sometimes get hangry if my stomach is empty. And, if there's other things going on, like I'm really hot or I'm really cold or it's wet and I'm feeling a bit miserable, whatever, if I'm hungry as well, I can just feel my tolerance for everything drop. So if I've got snacks on hand, that stops the hangriness. I don't know if that's even a word. But yeah, no one wants to be hangry. Don't do that to yourself. And on the flip side of that, I have come to learn over the years, especially riding in Europe, I would say, where we are really not sure what to expect in different countries and different places and with border crossings. I have learned that everything is easier when you've got food in your stomach. And so having snacks on hand, easily at hand, is going to make everything just a little bit easier. So they are my top 6, my 6 reasons for why snacks are just the best thing. Haha. Now that we know why they're so awesome and why you should carry them, let's talk about what snacks you can possibly take with you. There's a few options. I mean, really, you can take anything. Nuts are always good for protein, and you can take raw nuts with no salt. You can take roasted nuts with salt. My personal preference is raw nuts with no salt because they tend to not make me thirsty as much. Dried fruit is really good. Sultanas, dried apricots, dried mango, whatever your dried fruit of choice is, they are great because they just keep for a long time. If you've got them in an airtight container of some sort, they will last for a while. If you want to just pop into the supermarket and get something ready-made, trail mix is good. And you can just buy a small packet of that, throw it on your bike, just keep it there. Trail mix is really good. Lollies, if you want a bit of a sugar hit on hand, lollies are good. I would definitely not recommend a bar of chocolate because it will melt if it's warm, but lollies, if you like lollies. Personally, I don't. I'm not a lolly person. Alan loves lollies. He's got a packet of lollies that he keeps in his tank bag. Something we do when we're in Europe, not so much in Australia, I'm not sure why, but in Europe we carry a small can of corn. We can just stop, open it up and eat that wherever we like. I'm not sure when we started doing that and I'm not sure why, but it's good when you just want something, I don't know, a vegetable. Doesn't sound very glamorous, but when you want something a bit different from the usual snacks, a can of corn would be really good. You just got to make sure that you also carry a teaspoon or fork or a spork, which is a combination of a spoon and a fork. We have a couple of those that we just keep in our tank bag as well. You never know when you're going to need a spork. I know I mentioned chocolate's not a good idea, but I do carry emergency chocolate. Sometimes you've just got to have chocolate. And my recommendation for chocolate, your emergency chocolate, is peanut M&Ms for a couple of reasons. They won't melt unless it's super, super hot, but generally they won't melt. and they will give you a little hit of protein and some sugar. So peanut M&Ms, or whatever their equivalent are really great for emergency chocolate. When we're in Europe, I always pack my snacks in my crash bar bag. If you're not sure what a crash bar bag is, crash bars are like the metal sort of frame that you can put around the front of your bike. So if you drop it, the crash bars protect your fairing from getting scratched or damaged. And we have crash bars on our bikes. And Beauty, our bike that we usually keep in Europe, we have got 2 crash bar bags. So they are 6-litre bags that are strapped on either side to the crash bars towards the front of her. And they are brilliant, and we keep things in our crash bar bags that we want to have very easy access to. And one of those things is snacks. In Europe, I generally carry a mixture of raw nuts and sultanas. I just like that mix of the nuts and the sweetness of the sultanas. And I also, of course, carry a little bag of my emergency chocolate, the peanut M&Ms. And it's funny, you know, I can carry that emergency chocolate for weeks and weeks without touching it. And then there'll be a moment where I just eat the whole lot. It really is emergency chocolate. So they're the snacks that you might want to think about carrying with you on your adventures. And a bonus tip, not so much a snack, but I strongly recommend you always carry water. Obviously, if it's hot, you don't want to get dehydrated, but you don't want to eat your snack and then feel thirsty and have to ride feeling thirsty and dehydrated, especially on those hot days. And if you want more tips for staying cool on hot summer roads, have a listen to episode 6. I share my tips with you on there. And if you want to know what else I carry with me on our adventures, send me a message or send me an email and let me know, and I will send you our free packing list. It's the packing list that we use for all our adventures, and I'm very happy to share that with you. So I hope that's given you some ideas for snacks, especially how important they are and which snacks that you might want to take with you. I'd love to know if you have other things that you take with you for snacks. If there's anything I've missed, I always love a good idea for a snack. So let me know. I'd love to know. And I will see you next week.